What if Netsky doesn't have to cross the river? What if he just gets there?
Hop through a portal.
That's true.
Okay, now I'm starting to see some ideas here. Omega.
Perks calls it the Bifrost.
Yeah. I mean, the tough thing is it's still going to be a difficult trade in the mid. But then if you can just, temper that, don't get your flicker forced out or anything.
You just don't fight.
Yeah, just no fight. Just, play like Chip, man. Just relax. Take it slow.
Munch down.
Yeah, munch down on some chips.
In the Lapu Lapu?
Yeah, and it's a gold lane Freya. Okay, this is going to be weird because you don't want to be chill and relax with your comp. You want to play this fast. They do have basic attack and Kimmy in the end, but now you're up against a Leomord. So now it goes back to the idea of Omega. It feels like they're getting dragged between multiple schools of thought of like, how do you want to play this? Do you want to be more calculated, play it slow, play through the chip? But you have a Lapu Lapu in your EXP lane and a gold lane Freya. Do you want to play through your side lanes? It's like, they're overloaded again.
I think it's completely in contrast to what they could do in game one, though. So maybe that's going to work in their favor if they can make it work for them, having all those options, all those possibilities that could happen with this kind of draft. Because yes, this will be the first time that we see Chip come through in Season 17, who is still one of those roamers where you don't see too many teams pick it up. That's one of the things. It's more of a niche kind of preferred hero for certain players, certain teams in the league right now. But also having that Freya, having the Suyo and stuff there, that damage profile that they bring to the table could help them. And then Lapu Lapu, though, his main responsibility is like tanking up a ton of that damage to be able to get the crowd control off if he can. And so that's what Renmar's saying here. There's just so many things that this lineup can do. And we'll see if they're able to pull it off here. We jump into game 2 of this best of 3 series on our opening day. Let's see if we can go to a game 3.
In before the action unfolds, Omega doing well to not engage the very high damage output duo.
Yeah.
But also, we're down to one hero just basically being peeled. That's the Lapu Lapu. Chip can't do that. Chip is like a Hilda who has to weave in and out.
Yeah. Really just time your enhanced basic attack, so little stunts that he can dish out.
Initiate, then get out.
And then get out. I feel bad for James in this one, man. He has so much on his plate. His timing, Omega picked a really difficult road. It's not impossible, but again, it's...
Oh, they do jump down on the Kaloi!
Good start.
First blood drawn by Rice and the Barangay come alive.
Yeah, good start. So they learned from the initial trade from game number 1, handled it much better. Now they deliver the first death on the Kaloi.
Owl has the flicker, using the damage reduction from that shield. In comes Perziva trying to cancel it, jumps down on the carry, and they roll! Another kill! Down goes Owl!
And that is a great start to what Omega needs to do with this kind of lineup that allows them to go ahead and make plays like that. So way better than game 1. You have now some momentum. It's not anything crazy this early on, but it should definitely put you in a better position for the first hurdle.
This is why my analytical theme for this series is balance. Omega showed balance in the start of this game number 2. First, they played defensive. We're not going to fall for the same tricks against Akali Valentina again. And then when they found a really good opening, as greedy as it looked, despite being under tower, it was the perfect tower dive to take down Owl early. Now can they convert that into turtle wins through James?
Twist in mind, first of the scene, chopping that turtle down to about half health. Perziva looking for an engage. There's the Spanish Steed, MP the King, a little too dangerous, a little too hot underneath. Flicker jump in, Sean very low, Sean too deep, down goes Ming with Lantu finds him. And MP focusing on that turtle, down goes Sean, 1-for-1 trade, Ryzen in deep into that pit, takes down that turtle, and trades for Kaloi. And MP the King gets taken up by Netsky. Oh no, the Valkyrie finds one more, and Lantu jumping in. Netsky's not done with him, another Infernal Pursuit. And Netsky keeps on going. Netsky versus Lantu. Why can't him and Ryzen take him down?
Oh my goodness, and they're still going. They're still going to duel it out. So Lantu backs off. Meanwhile, the whole time, Owl was farming the gold off that turret. Well, then he gets punished.
Appreciate the recovery of Omega from that game number 1. And to answer the question of how come Lanzu didn't die there, hey man, Freya has little micro dashes built into her kit. So the longer that fight on, the longer Lanzu can keep jumping on them.
And he keeps proccing shields.
Yeah, he keeps proccing shields. He keeps proccing that little enhanced basic attack shoulder tackle. So now Twisted Minds needs to find some semblance of control here to slow things down. But it's easier said than done up against a lineup again that has a chip that is now playing very well because they take their early game condition. So how will Kaloy and Sean then control the river and try to read the rotations of this chip is the biggest question for Twisted Minds. Because now Al needs help catching up. In game number 1, it's Neski on his cloud. Now, it's Al on this carry. How can you get him more farm?
I think Owl, you know, given the fact that he's died twice, if I remember right, he's not too far behind gold-wise just because he was able to go ahead and stay down there and get some of that gold off the turret. But that's the thing, if he continues to die and get focused down on, then yes, he's going to be, it's going to be much longer for him to get online on this carry here. And so that's going to be up to Twisted Minds on how they continue to rotate and deal with these objectives. Because, wow, look at the damage!
Sean! Oh! Just taken down, 1v1 by Ryzen.
Clean, man. That was clean. 3-0 win 3, and I'm starting to feel like we're heading into game number 3 with the momentum that Omega's going on. It also depends on how well Netsuki can handle the next objective fight, which he will most likely join. Chip and Freya gold lane. It's, wow, crazy. It's a great combo.
And working out really well. Second turtle up. Neither team going to go ahead and focus on it yet. Just grab those buffs here right now.
Yeah, because look, Netsuki can drag out the laning phase in the objective fight because he can just join through the portal, meaning that he can slowly deny Owl of even more farm.
Owl's going to make his way. Again, this is expanding rivers. I'm not sure if he's going to fully commit to it. They might just give this turtle up.
Perks man-to-man defense on the Kaloy, denying a contest. Another turtle goes to the barangay.
Omega can slow down this invade, and good thing that they did. Would have been way too greedy for them to try and go for a steal just for, what, a golem or a beetle. They wouldn't have made it to the orange buff. They would have been countered by Twisted. Oh, in the bot lane!
Another shortcut called in, and that's all the members of the Barangay down bottom in the Y brush. In comes Lansu, uses that same portal, jumps on the Ryzen. Kaloy looking for it, finds him, shuts down! Ryzen, and that's a man down, another might fall. In comes the Valkyrie's descent. 2 for none, Twisted Minds. Get to breathe.
Yikes, massive counterplay by Twisted Minds, and Omega just faltered to their own ambition. No other way to put it other than Twisted Minds completely owned that sequence, saw the shortcut, played cool, calm, collected, and then they immediately got 2 kills after that. Now it's a very even game, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from these two teams. We've seen a great start by Omega, but now Twisted Minds is biting back as well.
Just going back to that term of balance here for this matchup, and it's essentially been evened out at this point. Lansu just going to go ahead and poke a little bit here as they set themselves up to get in a better position for the next objective when that does. But that's one of the things, again, Chip, even with the shortcut, you can't forget that it can be used against you as well, and that's why that timing, even the way to stay calm and collected with Kaloy, you know, being able to get out with the Raging Sandstorm, then the Flicker, and then buying that time for the team to kind of respond, that paid dividends there for them. So now it's Omega trying to get back in control here.
Yeah, 4-0 start for this Phoveus, and I wouldn't be surprised if Lansu, for majority of the team fights, similar to what we saw earlier after Turtle 1, he's just going to keep surviving, dragging fights out, and then Omega are gonna partially realize that, well, hey, we actually don't have enough. Because once Lansu gets a Radiant Armor, and most likely he will be getting a Blade Armor as well, the damage coming through from this Kimmy and the Freya, the main sources of damage against this Phoveus, he's just gonna laugh through it and he's gonna keep fighting.
Okay, here we go. Last turtle of the game up. Kaloy getting in position, providing that vision. Oh!
Phantom Seed already by MP, pushing back James and Ryzen. Allowing them to rethink their entry into the Turtle Pit. Slight advantage for Twisted Minds, pulling it over. Down to 3/4 of the health. Gotta get soft reset as Kaloy looks for 1.
Oh, they jump in though. Netsuki made his way up. They know a crucial ultimate's down. They're just gonna blitz it.
That's a quick take by Omega, 100%, 3 for 3.
Just knowing the Phantom Seed was down.
Yeah, Omega also just did not give Twisted Minds any opening and no avenue for MP the King to dash in.
Raging Sandstorm by Kaloy, keeping James down. Gets hit by that Lansu's second skill, does not engage.
Well, maybe. Okay, I guess it was just one of those things like, hey, let's see if we can find an opening here, but they could not. So, still slower, more methodical pace. Ryzen now up to a War Axe. As for the gold laners, they're still... Oh. Okay, I thought Kaloy would try to force something out of here, maybe perk Ziva. I think that's
Oh,
what
he
That's the
is.
flicker, and the shortcut. In comes the rest of the barangay. You can almost see the shot call, and Ryzen
jungle.
here drives through that shortcut. Close call could have been down by MP and Sean.
Yeah, sometimes when there's a chip in play, you've got to look in multiple places when
Yeah.
things are happening here. So they want to go ahead and get this turret down. They want to take this tier 1 up top. Twisted is just trying to put so much work into this, but Omega's doing a great job at defending up here.
Okay. DXP not that far apart, Gold not that far apart as well. One level ahead is Ryzen. For MP the King's item still on the way to his second. Already has the War Axe. So it's a slight gold lead here for Ryzen Suyo.
Okay. Well, meanwhile, Owl's been farming up, catching back up into this game here. Divine Glaive now locked in for Sean. This is usually what we see as a second item for the Valentina. So in just a bit, the positioning, the fight for that Lord space is going to be happening here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Twisted Minds have given up on this tier 1 up top.
Yeah. Kind of it just seems like they don't have much of a plan to really do anything just yet. A lot of this has been kind of respecting what Chip can do at the same time, and you don't want to overcommit on that side of the map, especially before this Lord comes up. Now that it's spawned in, so Omega's going to go ahead and just start this up. Are we actually going to see Twisted try to do something here?
Another blitz coming through. Lord at a fourth of its health. Kaloi looking for an engage. Ryzen secures. Jumps over to the other side. Netsky with the Valkyrie's descent already. Mingwin very low. The shortcut. He jumps right through it. He gets it. He's saved, but Perdiva falls. So does Ryzen. Double kill. Great post-Lord take fight by Twisted Minds.
The chip portal actually helped Lansu. He was sending back members of Omega, and just when it got too risky for him, he got out with the shortcut and ended up with the rest of the team. So you actually saw the angle. Twisted Minds were already setting up that post-objective take from the start because of the advanced positioning of Lansu. They knew they wouldn't get that turtle, but they knew that they could get a chance to get kills afterwards, which they did.
Hey, chip happens.
Chip happens.
Sometimes
man.
you're like, oh, what? Could have got Mingwin got away with it, but the rest of them, not really. So this will lead to what? A nothing Lord.
Yeah, basically at that point, you don't really get much off of this Lord. A couple chastised pauldrons picked up now too for Kaloi and Lansu. So this is what we were talking about. Once some of these more physical defense items do get picked up on Twisted, that's going to give them a bit of a way to work with this Freya especially, or even down to the Suyo to an extent here, and even the Kimi. And so part of this is Omega getting what they can. If that's tier 1, tier 2 turrets across the map off that Lord, that's about as good as it's going to get because of the way the fight went.
I think Lansu should keep up what he's doing. He should just really keep going straight for Mingwin once he sees him in the fight.
Yeah.
Because he has ways out.
Whether it's his or Chip's.
Yeah.
Basically. So with this, they lose a couple tier 2s, but Twisted still trying to claw them back into this game. They need to open up the map a bit for themselves, but Omega has been doing a really good job at just, even when they lose a couple bodies, they don't really lose control of the game.
Yeah. Question is next for Twisted, when are we going to start feeling Owl? Because at this point, you can only play through Sean, MP, and Lansu so much. You're going to need to get Owl and the carry involved to deal damage and clean things up. Though Omega are losing their main sources of damage or their main frontliner, it seems like without the chip, without the Suyo, it's really just through the Freya and the Lapu and then the Kimi. But then with them not also having the frontline that they need, it's like too difficult to catch up against a carry.
Conceal by Perks, allowing Netsky to run away. Phantom Steed, they all collapse onto Perksiva. Perks gets that shortcut in, but he gets taken down quick. He doesn't even get to cast it. A lot spent by Omega to save Perks, but Twisted get away with it.
I feel like that was a lot of overthinking from the side of Omega. That should not have happened.
I mean, they get a kill. Are they going to get anything off of it?
Netsky 2v1. Outthinker through the wall, gets jumped on by Netsky. And the Phantom Steed gets called in once more. In comes James trying to protect his gold laner, but Netsky falls. Now 4v1. James backing off. Lansu jumps on him. Mingwin wailing away. Ryzen says we disengage.
Their base turret's getting pushed in too, and now the Lord is up.
Yeah, Omega are slipping, and Twisted Minds are just handed wins back to back. They will get advantage for this Lord, but then MP the King still has to go through his rotations, purple to orange. They can't go for the slow start just yet. Netsky in 10, Ryzen is up. contestable, but I think Omega should just look for a steal angle while Twisted Minds, they need to blitz it.
No, Perks is here, so they can just bring Netsky to the fight. This
Yeah.
is a good look for Omega, I'd say. Give Twisted Minds a false sense of security. Lord at about half health, Mingwin. Still pew-pewing away. Lord gets a soft reset. They gotta respect that shortcut.
Yeah, this is tough for Altu. He doesn't have Flicker, so he picked up the Wind of Nature. So there's going to be a fight anyway.
Phantom Steed, MP, Traction Pulse. Can Ryzen survive? He's okay. MP at half health, Mingwin still blasting at Kaloy. Owl holds on to the Lord. Kaloy takes the time, quick sand guard. Netsky escorting a huge wave down bottom. The map belongs to Omega, but the Lord pit still a 50-50.
Omega playing the macro here right now. There's no response other than send Owl there to kind of deal with this wave push. So they held the Lord, and right now Omega has control.
Uh-oh. Lord down to a tenth of its health. There's a Lord secured again by Ryzen. And they collapse on a Sean. Sean falls. Netsky finds him. Pulling with a flicker on out. Lansu tries to push in. Omega finds one. Lansu is out. 3 defenders backing out of here. Omega find a late game turnaround.
Handled that Lord dance really well, considering before that final take, Ryzen was spotted by the members of Twisted Minds, brought to half health, and he had to spell vamp back to full. Great handling of the Lord by Omega. Fantastic macro. Twisted Minds now might end up getting forced for game number 3 here.
Kaloy underneath tier 3 in mid. Drops that quick sand guard on a 3. Not much of a response. Twisted Minds. They're up against the wall here. Sean comes in, no ult stolen. And the rest of Omega will wail away at the base, taking us all the way.
The Bungarang guy go crazy. Despite the, let's say, terrible start to the series, they showed up.